The WA47, an excellent budget replica of arguably one of the world's most iconic studio condenser microphones ever created, the Neumann U47. If you have $100,000 to spend, yeah, I might seriously recommend you go try and pick up an original one, but good luck. For the guitarists out there, that's like trying to go pick up an original Sunburst Gibson Les Paul from 1959. It doesn't happen very often, nor for very cheap. For starters, one of the issues with trying to do something like that is quality control, which back then in the 40s and 50s was so unregulated that two microphones out of Neumann's factory made on the same production line on the same day might sound completely different. Then you get into questions about how it's been taken care of over the past 70 years. How's it been stored and in what type of climate? Who's serviced it? What kind of tubes are in it now? Because it is a tube microphone. So Warm Audio has managed to simplify the equation a little bit. This is a budget microphone, again, for under $1,000, and you're hearing it completely dry with no signal processing, compression, or EQ, running into Logic via a Claret 2 pre. Nothing too flashy, and yes, it sounds massive. That was the original design and intent with these microphones. A bit of a backstory for you. The intent at the time was to create an overhead mic that could be used to mic up big bands or even orchestras at the time, and it did that very well, and continues to do that very well today. But then Frank Sinatra came along and realized that from 2 feet away, his voice sounded massive through it, and thus, that famous chesty vocal sound of that era with Engelbert Humperdinck and Dean Martin was born. And we owe that to the Neumann U47. Fast forward to 1965, and the company Telefunken had to stop manufacturing the tubes that were used in these microphones. And thus, a new design by Neumann was introduced, the U47 FET. For those of you that don't know, FET stands for Field Effect Transistor. It replaces the tube design with a transistor design, and thus was much less noisy. And then, fast forward a couple years after that, and the Neumann U67 was born. Another very famous and classic microphone from the late 60s and early 70s. And then fast forward 50 years later, after years and years of classic music was made with these microphones, the company Warm Audio out of Austin, Texas was born. To fill you in, they are famous for creating excellent budget replicas of all sorts of famous studio gear. For example, a Universal Audio LA2A compressor will cost you $5,000, but Warm Audio makes an excellent replica that is accurate down to the circuitry for less than $1,000. They make 1176s and other famous EQs and Neumann microphones that would otherwise cost you tens of thousands of dollars. But what it really comes down to is how it sounds for the singing voice or other instruments like guitar. And that's what we're going to dive into today. I was fortunate enough last weekend to be able to borrow Warm Audio's version of the U67, the Warm Audio 67 as it's called, and I actually recorded a cover of an Everly Brothers song called Bye Bye Love. You can check that out in the description to hear the whole processed version of it, but here's what we're going to do for the sake of today's video. We're going to take the isolated recordings of those vocals and compare them to the isolated vocals repeated on this particular microphone so you can get a feel of Warm Audio's quality all around. And then we'll also do that with the acoustic guitar as well. So, we'll get started with the vocals first. Bye bye love, bye bye happiness, hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye bye love, bye bye sweet caress, hello emptiness, feel like I could die. Bye bye love, bye bye happiness, hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye bye love, bye bye sweet caress, hello emptiness, I feel like I could die. There goes my baby with someone new. She sure looks happy, I sure am blue. She was my baby till he stepped in, but my true romance that might have been. There goes my baby with someone new. She sure looks happy, I sure am blue. She was my baby till he stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. And so there you have it. That is the Warm Audio 47 in all of its glory. Now make no mistake, there is a difference between a $1,000 microphone and a $10,000 microphone, as there should be. I would hope there is anyway. But hey, if you are looking for larger-than-life vocals on a budget to replicate those types of old-world sounds, this may be where you want to start. I know I certainly enjoyed it. I enjoy a lot of Warm Audio's products. I'm definitely a customer. If you like this video and you want to see more content, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for sticking with me.